bravado. United we stand. Together we fall.
The kind of water you drink says a lot about the type of person you are. It's time to take hydration seriously. Flow. Your local water is terrible. It's time to make hydration real. That's why we filtered it, put it in a fancy bottle, and
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States Seismological Agency. There had been several reports of minor to moderate earthquakes felt within areas along the Grand Senor Desert. Earthquakes ranging from 2.4 to 4.5 have been reported. These earthquakes may continue. Sinkholes may form from these earthquakes, and those living in Great Seas and sandy shores should avoid these sinkholes. Residences do not need to panic, but follow later statements on this situation.
President Lawton's approval rating is at 59%. This comes after recent terrorist
This is the automated earthquake alert system. All programming has been interrupted to bring you vital information. Remain calm and proceed to do the following. Drop, cover and hold on immediately. If you are indoors, do not run outside. Debris may be falling. If possible, drop to the ground. Take cover under a table or sturdy piece or furniture and hold on until the shaking stops. If you are not near any sturdy furniture, cover your face and head with your arms and crouch in an inside corner of the building or in a load-bearing doorway where there is less of a chance of things falling on you. Stay away from windows, light fixtures, and stable furniture or anything that could fall. Stay inside until the shaking stops and you are absolutely sure to go outside. If electricity goes out, do not use elevators. If you are outdoors, move away from buildings, street lights and
This is Jonah King in the KWNV Weasel 23 newsroom with breaking news. We're back on the air after a magnitude 7.0 struck the Mount Josiah area. The quake was felt from Los Santos to San Fierro all the way over here in Las Venturas. We did not get any earthquake early warning of any sort. We have reports of buildings collapsing, water mains burst, gas mains have reported having exploded. We're getting all this information into our studio quickly. We have a lot coming in right now. In additional breaking news, we have reports that a freight train has derailed near Las Venturas. It is unknown on what this train is carrying. We will be watching that piece of breaking news. In the meantime, we also have another breaking news story to relay. That is not in our viewing area, but we must relay it to traffic goers at the interchange in
Radiological hazard spill by a derailed train has prompted a radiological hazard warning for Alma County in the Las Venturas metropolitan area. Train was carrying nuclear waste en route to a disposal site. Radiological materials are now in the air. A shelter-in-place order is now in effect for Alma County. Robata, due to the effects of nuclear waste to the general public. In a radiological hazard warning, follow the following instructions. Treat this as a shelter-in-place warning. Stay inside, close and lock all doors and windows. Go to the basement or most interior room of the building. Turn off all heating and ventilation systems. Seal all cracks to doors with tape or damp towels. Close all fireplace dampers. Bring food, water, clothing for 14 days, medical supplies, a flashlight and a battery-powered radio. Listen to radio, TV or all hazards radio for further information. Wait for the all clear from public service officials.
Lows around 70. East winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance of rain 30%. Tomorrow, cloudy. Highs around 76. Winds north around 15 miles per hour.
Following message is transmitted at the request of the United States Seismological Agency. The United States Seismological Agency has issued a tsunami watch for areas for coastal waters from western San Judas Beach, San Andreas to Los Santos International Airport. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration had detected a spaceborne object crashing into the Pacific Ocean 109 miles off the coast of western Judas Beach, San Andreas. The object's crashing appears to have also created an earthquake, with a magnitude of 8.6 to be felt across San Andreas. Unrelated to the earlier 7.1 Mount Josiah earthquake. The United States Seismological Agency are currently investigating on if a tsunami currently exists due to the recent earthquake. Stay tuned for further information as this situation develops.
The National Climate Office in Grapeseed has issued a tsunami warning for coastal areas of central and southern San Andreas, including the following counties: Blaine, Los Santos and Old Juds. This is a result of an unknown space object crashing into the Pacific Ocean and triggering a magnitude 8.6 earthquake near western San Judas Beach. That struck at 6:10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The United States Seismological Agency has visual confirmation of tsunami waves heading for shore. Urgent action needs to be taken now. Some areas including low-lying coastal areas need to be evacuated. The tsunami wave will arrive on western Judas Beach to San Fierro, served by NCOW Bayside, or western Judas Beach to Paleto Bay at 7:52 p.m., areas from the mouth of Cassidy Creek to North Chumash to the mouth of the Lagos NCOW by 7:53 to 7:54 p.m., Chumash to Del Perro by 7:54 to 7:55 p.m. and Los Santos International Airport by 7:56 p.m. A tsunami warning means that tsunami is imminent, and that coastal locations in the warned area should prepare for flooding. The National Climate Office is updating conditions hourly, or as conditions warrant.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. The following is a civil emergency for areas of Los Santos, Blaine, and Old Judd counties. At approximately 7:09 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, an investigation ship containing investigators from the United States Seismological Agency, the USS Richard Stewart, reported seeing a creature form from the area. NASA reported the spaceborne object crashing into. The USS Richard Stewart is reporting that the creature is Godzilla-like, and it appears that the creature seems to be an extraterrestrial, given that it seems to be spaceborne.
but so far, it does not seem to be hostile. The United States government will be sending out investigators to determine what this creature is. Residents across Los Santos, Blaine, and Old Judd counties should prepare for the possibility for this creature to be hostile if it is. A statement will be issued for immediate areas along the coastal areas near the Pacific Ocean and San Andreas.
This is an administrative message. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Federal Emergency Response Agency and the United States Seismological Agency. This is a tsunami damage report. A series of tsunami waves have struck areas along western San Juan's Beach to Los Santos International Airport. The following are a list of flooding conditions for the following counties and the following areas in Old Judd County, Western San Juan's Beach and Western San Juan's Forest, which reported tsunami flooding with no damage to property. In Blaine County, the Paleo Forest and Paleo Bay Procoro Promenade has reported flood out of the roadway due to tsunami flooding. Ration Canyon is reporting flooding on roads on the mouth of the Cascade Creek. The Bandarina Road Beach in Chumash has seemed to have taken a direct hit from the tsunami, as the whole beach was reported flooded up to the backyards of the beachfront homes. Loading area roads and buildings of Inocena Road in Benham County are reporting flooding. Lifeguard stands from PACIOC Bluffs to Vespachi Beach have either been damaged or destroyed. Due to the current situation, the governor of San Andreas has ordered that residents who have evacuated due to the tsunami do not return to the evacuated area until the situation is resolved. Repeat, no one returns to the evacuated area. Stay tuned to local television, radio or All Hazards Radio for the latest emergency information.
Civil danger now exists for Elma County and the Las Venturas metropolitan area. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Elma County Sheriff's Office and the Ribota State Government. A civil danger warning is now in effect for Elma County and the city of Las Venturas. At 9:39 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, numerous 911 calls have come into the Elma County Sheriff's Office and Las Venturas Police Department reporting that mysterious extremely large and dangerous worms are roaming out of the ground and are attacking civilians throughout Elma County. Those traveling to Elma County should avoid traveling to the county until further notice. Residents throughout Elma County, including those affected by the radiological hazard in Las Venturas, should evacuate immediately and safely. For those in the radiological warning area, if you have not been affected by the radiological hazard, evacuate. If you have been affected, wait until officials from FARA, the United States National Health Agency, or other health officials come to your door to evacuate you. Stay tuned to local radio, television, or weather radio for the latest information.
The worms have killed several residences throughout Alma County. The governor of Robata has ordered an evacuation order for Las Venturas.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government and the San Andreas State government. A civil danger warning is now in effect for Blaine, Los Santos and Old Judd counties at 10:40 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. The USS Richard Dale Stewart has confirmed that the creature that had crashed into the Pacific Ocean from outer space is moving towards San Andreas shores. The ship is attempting to use its surface-to-air missile to try to take down the creature. The creature could be heading towards the Los Santos metropolitan area. Residents along the western portion of Old Judd, Blaine and Los Santos counties should evacuate now as the creature is heading towards shore. Stay tuned for further information as this situation develops.
The following message is transmitted at the request of the Carcer City Water Division. Residents across Carcer City are advised to stop using tap water immediately. Mysterious worms have been discovered in the water supply. These worms appear not to be native and are currently being investigated. Residents are advised to use bottled water as a means for drinking water. The Carcer City Water Division will be shutting off water until this situation is resolved. Water does not need to be boiled. Repeating, discontinue usage of tap water.
Civil danger for Carcer City. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Carcer City government. The situation in the Flaming River has escalated within the past 10 minutes. Since the last message, increasing swarms of these worms have been found in the water supply and in the river itself. Within the past 5 minutes, the Flaming River have suddenly ignited in a similar pattern to gasoline, and these worms seem to be on fire. The worms seem to be flaming and also appear sulfuric. The water supply in the Carcer City metropolitan area has been shut off until further notice. Residents in the Carcer City area do not swim in the water due to the water being on fire and sulfuric. Stay tuned to local television or radio for the latest developments.
And now here is your forecast for the state capital region. Tonight, cloudy, lows in the upper 50s. East winds up to... This is an emergency action notification requested by the White House. All EPBS participants will follow activation procedures in the EPBS handbook for a national level emergency. The President of the United States, or his representative, will shortly deliver a message over the emergency public broadcasting system. We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency public broadcasting system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is NEA Weather Radio Station KLM 67. We will continue to serve the Everett broadcasting area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency public broadcasting system serving the Everett broadcasting area. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency public broadcasting system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is NEA Weather Radio Station KLM 67. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Everett broadcasting area. If you are not in the Everett broadcasting area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency public broadcasting system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is NEA Weather Radio Station KLM 67. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the The following message is transmitted at the request of the White House and the United States Meriwether Securities Humane Labs and Research Division. This is not a test. Scientists have discovered that recent outbreaks of mysterious worms found in soils and waterways across the states that border the Canadian border or the state of San Andreas are in fact not natural at all. Scientists have discovered that the swarms found in soils and waterways are transformative and can turn into something else. This was discovered earlier in Edma County, Robata, and appears that regular-sized worms turned into giant worms. These worms from the states of Robata, Chinook and partially Columbia seem to have came from a creature off the coast of San Andreas. For the Canadian situation, an object had crashed down somewhere in the Pacific West province of Canada, and unlike the San Andreas situation, this object did not form a creature. The creatures can be small enough that they can be seen under a microscope, and can move at very fast speeds to combining into large swarms into a giant creature. These forms of creatures are confirmed to be extraterrestrial. This is a very dangerous situation. The transformative creatures are continuing to spread across the continental United States. No matter what form they are in, they are also dangerous to human health. They seem to be sulfuric, and appear to also be as flammable as gasoline, especially in swarms. Residences across the United States are advised to stay away from waterways, do not drink tap water despite it being filtered, and do not go near these worms. So far, the one giant Godzilla creatures is heading to the city of Los Santos. The United States government will be attempting to take down these creatures, and to eliminate the population of these extraterrestrial forms. Stay tuned to local radio, television, or emergency radio for the latest information. This concludes operations under the Emergency Public Broadcasting System. All normal programming will now resume.
Civil danger for Vespucci Beach and areas near Los Santos International Airport. The following message is transmitted at the request of the San Andreas State Government. All residents near Vespucci Beach or near Los Santos International Airport area are urged to stay indoors immediately. Those in high-rise buildings are to evacuate immediately as these structures are not safe. The creature seems to be en route to Vespucci Beach area and can also affect areas of Los Santos International Airport. Again, Those in high-rise buildings are urged to evacuate immediately. Otherwise, stay indoors. Stay tuned to radio, TV or All Hazards Radio for further information.
Civil danger for Alderney City and the Liberty City metropolitan areas. The following message is transmitted at the request of the Liberty and Alderney state government offices. Residences in the Liberty City and Alderney City areas are urged to be on alert for a creature which has risen out near the mouth of the Humboldt River. The creature is large and destructive, and seems to have similar intent to the Los Santos creature, to create destruction, injury, and death. The creature, which is currently in the Castle Gardens area, is moving north. If you are in a high-rise building, evacuate them immediately as they are not safe. Otherwise, stay indoors. Unlike the Los Santos creature, this creature is setting buildings on fire with his breath, and is creating destruction, injury, and death throughout the Castle Gardens area. The creature could be moving by the time of this emergency public broadcast. Repeating, if you are in a high-rise building, evacuate them immediately as they are not safe. Otherwise, stay indoors. Stay tuned to television, radio or All Hazards Radio for further information.
We are currently receiving reports of creatures in the cities of Champaign, Carcer City, Cascade, Las Venturas, Los Santos and Vice City. We do have a creature here in Liberty City as well. We do want to clarify that we are safe here at WNXL Studios here in Liberty City, and are going underground as a precaution. The United States government is ordering the same.
We interrupt our programming. This is a national emergency. This is an emergency action notification. All broadcast stations and cable systems shall transmit this emergency action notification message. This station has interrupted its regular programming at the request of the White House to participate in the emergency public broadcasting system. During this emergency, most stations will remain on the air providing news and information to the public in assigned areas. This is WNXL Local 8 News. We will continue to serve the Liberty and Alderney City area. If you are not in this local area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your local area. You are listening to the emergency public broadcasting system serving the Liberty and Alderney City areas. Do not use your telephone. The telephone lines should be kept open for emergency use. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency public broadcasting system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WNXL Local 8. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Liberty and Alderney City area. If you are not in the Liberty and Alderney City area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency public broadcasting system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WNXL Local 8. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Liberty and Alderney City area. If you are not in the Liberty and Alderney City area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the emergency public broadcasting system. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is
following message is transmitted at the request of the United States government. Acting President James Hutchinson has ordered the firing of ballistic missiles from within the United States aimed at major cities that contain large and destructive creatures. The warheads the missiles contain are a biological weapon developed by the Department of Defense. These weapons contain a biological fallout product. While the explosion is small, fallout will remain a threat for a 300-mile radius. All residences in Carcer City, Cascade, Champaign, Liberty City, Los Venturas, Los Santos, New Hamlin, Roseport, and Vice City are ordered to seek an underground or fallout shelter now. Bring food, water, clothing, medical supplies, and a battery-operated radio. Your stay will be about 2 to 4 weeks. Expect the sound of airplanes dropping these bombs if you are in these areas. This message was transmitted at the request of the United States government.
Emergency Public Broadcasting System. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WNXL, NX, Local 8. This station will continue furnishing news, official information and instructions for the Liberty and Alderney City area. If you are not in the Liberty and Alderney City area, you should tune to stations providing news and information for your area. It is important that you listen carefully to announcements from the station in your local area. We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the Emergency Public Broadcasting System. All normal programming has been discontinued during this emergency. This is WNXL, NX, Local 8. This station will continue furnishing news.
Stand by for a message from a representative of the President of the United States.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am the White House Press Secretary, speaking on behalf of the Vice President, now acting President, as President Lawton is undergoing surgery and is unable to fulfill his duties. We have a situation of unprecedented proportions happening in our nation right now. The acting president will be commencing the launch of ballistic missiles containing biological weapons. These materials have been tested once and may have similar harmful effects on humans as nuclear fallout. This biological weapon, developed by the Department of Defense, may have the potential of killing life species, such as humans and animals. So we are advising all residents of the United States to go as far underground as you can. If you do not have an underground shelter, head to the nearest fallout shelter. Bring food, water, clothing, medical supplies, and a battery-operated radio. Your stay in the fallout or underground shelter may be up to 2 weeks. We are treating this as a nuclear attack. The effects of these attacks are in an effort to defeat the creatures that are creating destruction across major cities. The acting president does not want to do this, but this is in an effort to defeat these creatures. The acting president is currently in a classified location. While this weapon does not create a massive destructive explosion like a nuclear missile, the falling particles of the biological explosion could be up to a radius of 300 miles. The attacks appear to be only occurring in the United States. I will not be taking any questions. Thank you and God bless.
That was a message from the White House. We now return to the Emergency Public Broadcasting System.
We interrupt our programming at the request of the White House. This is the Emergency Public Broadcasting System. All normal programming
This concludes operations under the Emergency Public Broadcasting System. All normal programming will now resume. An administrative message from the United States government. The biological weapon drop has created some damage to major cities affected by the creatures that was attacking. However, it appears that success is in order. The creatures have been destroyed. This is an all clear from the United States government, and civilians can now leave shelters. An administrative message from the United States government. The biological weapon drop has created some damage to major cities affected by the creatures that was attacking. However, it appears that success is in order. The creatures have been destroyed. This is an all clear from the United States government, and civilians can now leave shelters.